You know, I'm so glad that you're my friend, and you even like Pokemon. Hey man, no problem. By the way, what'd you say your favorite Pokemon games were? Wait, have I never told you? It's Pokemon Cafe Remix, Pokemon Shuffle, Pokemon Magikarp Jump. Okay, but those were all mobile games. Yeah, I know. No, I meant the console Pokemon games. The what? Huh? This is probably the closest video I make in terms of talking about Pokemon. I'm not such a huge fan of Pokemon, but I have played a fair share of its games. And no, I'm not counting the mobile games. But in terms of the mobile games, these are very interesting. Leave a comment down below on what you guys think about these Pokemon mobile games. I'm gonna go over almost every mobile Pokemon game in order. I'm also not gonna talk a whole lot about these games since, well, there's so many of them. So to start things off, how about some Pokemon Shuffle? This game's pretty old, but it's somehow still active. It came out on February 18, 2015. I remember when this game came out. It was actually on the 3DS and I spent so much time playing it. And then I played it on my iPad for even more time. And then I never touched it again after 2016. It's not bad. It's a pretty linear but addictive mobile game. It's a somewhat Candy Crush style game where you're pretty much matching Pokemon on a grid. It's fun, but I grew out of playing those types of mobile games a long time ago. And that's probably why the game doesn't get updated these days, because it's not the craze anymore. But for the time, it was fun. Yeah, after this video, I don't think I'm gonna touch this game again. Pokemon Go, a game that needs no introduction. Remember when this was the biggest thing ever? It came out on July 6, 2016 and is still going strong. It gets regular new updates and has gotten to the recent Pokemon, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to get any footage of this game since you'll end up knowing where I live. This game is a good innovation to try and get people to be active while playing a game, albeit a mobile game. You walk around in real life to find some Pokemon here and there, and there are these blue pole things that are called Pokestops where when you spin them, they give you loot. It's awesome. You can fight in gyms and even fight one-on-one battles now, and the whole purpose of the game is to try getting a full Pokédex and get some good Pokemon too. Neat. I don't know how many people know about this game, but Magikarp Jump is the next Pokemon mobile game. It came out on May 17, 2017 and is, well, a game alright. It's not a very fun one, I'll say. I don't know who this is appealing to, but if you like this game, cool. All you really do is get a Magikarp, feed it to level up, and then compete in a jumping competition. Well, at least this shows that Magikarp are useful for something. But that's really it. What else can I really say about it? On May 29th, 2018, Pokemon Quest came out. You can play this game on mobile and on Switch. I always find it interesting how some of these games get console releases. It's an arcade game. You have a team of Pokemon, fight a bunch of enemies, get food from them, cook, and then get some Pokemon from cooking. A straightforward game. It's a more action-based game compared to the other games so far. It's got an interesting art style, which I definitely wouldn't have seen coming from a Pokemon game. I can see myself playing this for a while, but in terms of how active this game is, I don't really think it will be active for long. It sounds more dead than some of the games available to play, but I think people would enjoy this one, so try it out if you're interested. It's not bad at all. Pokemon Masters X, a game that has a pretty interesting name. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But compared to the other games here, I would say this is my favorite. This game came out on August 28, 2019. That's also when my birthday was in 2019. This feels more like an actual Pokemon game than anything else in terms of mobile games. It's pretty well made and I'm pretty sure the game still gets updates. I've never touched this game until recently for this review and I'm pretty impressed. I could really make an entire video about this game. Actually, not really. I'm exaggerating a bit. But seriously, this game just really shows me that if the Pokemon company also pleases to put some effort into a game, they can. This is a gacha game, so people would probably spend a lot of money on this game. I'm not surprised that Pokemon has one. You just make a team of 3 to fight another team of 3. Pokemon are binded to specific trainers. Something that makes this game stand out is the fact that Pokemon trainers actually have voices. Yes, this game actually utilizes real life voices. It makes it painfully clear that the Pokemon series really needs voice acting. I'll tell ya, it brings a personality to these characters. It's pretty refreshing. The graphics are pretty good for a mobile game and a Pokemon
game, and the music is also pretty good. I mean, it is Pokemon, so that's kind of to be expected, but there are some remixes here, which is nice to see. Overall, probably the best Pokemon mobile game. Pokemon Cafe Remix brings Pokemon mobile games back to a linear type of puzzle game. It came out on June 23rd, 2020 for mobiles and the Switch. How would you even play this on the Switch? I've never really seen a puzzle game like this one before. It's got an interesting art style to say the least. It tries going for a cutesy vibe, which is whatever really. This is another active game that gets updated pretty regularly. It's an okay game. All you're really doing is taking the orders of some Pokemon. Once you take it, it puts you in some sort of Pokemon puzzle game and gives you some objectives. If you take the order of the same species of Pokemon enough times, you get to let them work with you in the cafe.
Imagine if that's how it worked in real life.
You drag the same Pokemon icon to be able to do anything during the minigame. It can be satisfying to break a bunch of them at once. All in all, an interesting game, but one I most likely won't revisit anytime soon. And the final game I want to focus on is Pokemon Unite. I'll be honest, I've debated among myself whether I should include this game or not.
You can guess what I decided on.
This game came out on July 21st, 2021 for Switch and September 22nd, 2021 for mobile devices. I think this game works better on Switch. Regardless of that though, I'm not a huge fan of MOBA games, so I didn't even touch this game once. And yes, that counts even now. I remember people saying this game's balancing was crazy, but I wouldn't know that since I never played this game. I also heard this game is very pay to win. Anywho, it's pretty much a MOBA with Pokemon in it. It's a nice concept, but I don't really care enough to even continue this segment. So if you enjoy it, amazing! Go ahead and give a mini review of the game in the comments. There are so many more Pokemon apps on mobiles, but if I were to talk about all of them, this video would be much longer. And here's the thing, I'm not very interested in them to begin with, so I'll just give a quick rundown on them. Pokemon Playhouse is mainly targeted towards kids. It seems to be like one of those Tokaboko games from a long time ago. Obviously not for me. Pokemon Duel was some sort of board game. I remember playing it and getting uninterested in it. It stopped getting support in 2019. Pokemon the Card Game Online is a card game that is pretty popular. I'm not huge on card games. Pokemon Smile isn't really a game, but it's meant to help brush your teeth. Okay. Pokemon Home is actually a really useful app to transfer Pokemon from one game to another. Long gone are the days of Pokemon Bank and stuff. I don't play Pokemon, so I wouldn't really use this. And the most recent app announced is Pokemon Sleep. It's just an app that works more like an alarm to help you wake up.
Maybe I'll give it a try.
There are so many Pokemon apps out there. It's kind of expected given how big this franchise is. They made their fair share of bangers here and there, but many of these games seem to be targeting younger audiences. I guess that makes sense given that many kids really like Pokemon and kids nowadays have some sort of access to a mobile device.
Man, I'm turning 20 soon and I'm talking like I'm over 30.
These games were interesting to look at and I would recommend you to check some of them out.
Pokemon is such a big name and it's only expected to see them branch into the mobile department. I don't know if I'm gonna spend any time in these games in the future, except for maybe one or two of them, but it was nice checking them out. I really can't believe I said I was gonna do this almost 2 years ago. I'd say they're nice to play, but again, I can't really say I'm gonna revisit them anytime soon. What do you guys think about Pokemon mobile games? Anyways, I can't wait to make a whole video about Pokemon Sleep.